Hi, welcome all of you on the lecture second of the RCC. Lecture second. So in this lecture, we study the different grade of the concretes. In previous lecture, we have studied about the some basics of the RCC, like the plain cement concrete RCC, safety, serviceability, durability, aesthetic appearance, and the cost. Now we are studying about the grade of the concrete. So the different grade of the concrete. So different grade of concrete. This grade of the concrete as per IS 456200. So here I write the group of the concrete. This one. Let me remove this one. This one and this one, and here also I'm drawing line. This one. So now the group. Let me this. Just going to remove this one. Okay. Now group. Then grade of concrete which is designated grade, designated, and the characteristic strength of the concrete FCK in a Newton per mm square. So the first grade of the concrete is, or first grade of the concrete is ordinary concrete. Which is the ordinary concrete? What one? Ordinary. So first type of the concrete is ordinary concrete. This ordinary concrete is from M10 to M20 grade of the concrete, and its characteristic strength at the age of 28 days is 10 Newton per mm square, even 15 Newton per mm square for M15, and 20 Newton per mm square. There M10, M15 also, M15, M20. So this ordinary concrete and this ordinary concrete are used in General RCC work. General RCC work, we use the ordinary concrete as per the IS 456-200. This is the first types of the concrete. Now, second types of the concrete, grade of the concrete. Second type, grade of the concrete is standard concrete. Which one? Standard concrete. Standard concrete. This is standard concrete from M25 to M60. This characteristic compressive strength will 25 Newton per mm square to 60 Newton per mm square, and this is used, the standard concrete grade of the concrete is used generally for the pre-stressed concrete structure. Now, let me add the next page. Sorry. This is three types. Third types of the concrete. Third types of the grade of the concrete is the high strength. Is high. Third grade of the concrete is high strength concrete. This high strength concrete are used in heavy structure, heavy RCC structures. Heavy RCC structure like high rise building. And its strength is M65 to M100, and the characteristic strength of that concrete is 65 Newton per mm square to 100 Newton per mm square. This is the grade of the concrete. I have explained to you the three types of the grade of the concrete. I have explained to you as per the IS 456-200. First grade of the concrete is ordinary concrete. The ordinary concrete is from M10, M15 and M20, and the 28 days characteristic compressive strength of the dead concrete is 10 Newton per mm square, 15 Newton per mm square and 20 Newton per mm square. These ordinary concretes are used generally for the general RCC work. Second grade of the concrete as per IS 456-200 is the standard grade of concrete. This standard concrete is M25 to M60, and its strength, characteristic strength is M 25 Newton, 25 Newton per mm square to M 60 Newton per mm square. Now the third grade is the high strength concrete. The high strength concrete are used in high rise, very heavy structures like high rise buildings. It is the M65 to M100 grade of the concrete, and its characteristic strength is 65 Newton per mm square to 100 Newton per mm square. Now, how we designate the concrete? So, designations of the concrete we see now. Designation of the concrete. Designation of concrete. The concrete is designated with like M, and here is the number M, and there is the number like M10, M15, such like this. Here M refers to the mix, and number along with this M, along with this M is represent, this M represents its characteristic compressive strength FCK at the age of 28 days, at the age of 28 days. So at the age of the 28 days in Newton per mm square. So I hope all of you understand what designations of the concrete. So this is the designations of the concrete. Let me add the next page. The concrete above the M60, the concrete for concrete above concrete for concrete grade, for concrete grade above M60, the specification of IS, the specification of IS 456200 is not valid. For this concrete, a special literature or experiments to be referred to design the concrete. To design the concrete, not valid. That means the IS 4566200 is valid for up to M20, valid for up to M60 grade of concrete. And the grade of the concrete used on the site is depend on the strength required as well as the exposure condition of the environment, exposure condition. So the environment, exposure condition and the durability we need for the structure. So let me add the new condition environment. Let me add the new page. Here is the exposure condition. This here is the exposure condition. Minimum grade of the concrete. Minimum grade of concrete. Grade of concrete for PCC. Here the minimum grade of concrete for RCC as per IAS 4566200 on the exposure, based on the exposure condition of the environment. So the first condition is the mild. The minimum grade of the concrete in IS 4566200 for the PCC in the mild exposure condition is not mentioned. Okay, but minimum grade of the concrete for the mild exposure condition is M20 grade of the concrete we use. Mild, after that the moderate condition. So the moderate, for the moderate environmental condition, minimum grade of the concrete for the PCC used M15, and for the minimum grade of the concrete used for the RCC in the moderate exposure condition will be M30. Third one, the sewer conditions. So third one is the sewer. So in the sewer condition, the minimum grade of the concrete for the PCC is M20, and sorry, there I have made the mistake. There is not the M30, it is the, I think, M25. And for the sewer condition M30, M20 used in the PCC, then for RCC M13. And for very severe condition, the minimum very severe condition, minimum grade of the RCC is M20. Is minimum grade of concrete for the PCC is M20 in very severe exposure condition, and the grade of the concrete will be 435 for the RCC condition. So here you look that for the severe and very severe condition, the minimum grade of the concrete for the PCC is M20 mentioned in an IS 456. So this question may be asked in some interview or in examinations, competitive examination also. So the minimum grade of the concrete as per the IS 456200 for the environmental conditions severe and very severe is same. Now fifth one is the extreme environmental condition. In extreme environmental condition, extreme exposure condition, we use the minimum grade of the concrete is M25 for the PCC and M40 for the RCC. That means we can use as per the IS 456200, maximum we can use the PCC as the M25 in extreme weather condition, extreme environmental exposure condition, and the minimum grade of the concrete for the RCC M40. We can go above for that also, but the mentions concrete, but the cost will be increased. Here the some, let me add on another page. For something important point for you, the minimum grade of the concrete, minimum grade of concrete as per IS 456200 for RCC and for RCC and for PCC. For RCC, the minimum grade of the concrete is M20, which is used as per the IS 46200, and for the PCC is M15 grade of the concrete. For grade of the concrete structural, for a structural work, the grade of the concrete shall be the grade of concrete for a structural work, shall be M20, but M25 for the building, but M20 sorry, but M25 for the building, for the building as per IS 13920. M25 for the building, which is as per the IS 456 13920. If the height of the building is greater than 15 meter, and it is come into the seismic zone 3, 4 and 5, so there is condition. M25 कब होगा? जब within more within more than 15 meter height of building in seismic zone 3, 4 and 5. But condition here also, the but not less than, but not less than date required, but not less than date required, but not less than date required by IS 456200 based on the exposure condition. Based on exposure condition. Here is important point. There is the minimum grade of the concrete. You should be understand very well here. That's the important point. The point is this: the minimum grade of the concrete for the structural, the grade of the concrete for the structural shall be M20, but M25 for the building as per the IS 13920. This building whose height is more than 15 meter, and these buildings come into the seismic zone 3, 4 and 5, M25, but M25 से कम नहीं होना चाहिए, but not less than the date required by IS 456200 based on the exposure condition. Let me explain the going on some previous pages and see. Suppose in the mild stream, our building is coming here. Our building is coming in this sewer zone. In this zone, sewer condition, our building 15 meter height building यहाँ पर आ रही है. तो IS 13920 बोलता है कि मिनिमम M25 का ग्रेड होना चाहिए, परंतु जो IS 456200 बोलता है कि एक्सपोजर सीवर कंडीशन पे बेस्ड भी RCC के लिए M30 होना चाहिए, तो हम यहाँ पर कंक्रीट M25 की जगह M30 यूज करेंगे. दिस इज द कंडीशन हियर. So I think I think you have understand this very well. Let me go on the next page here. Let me add one more page. There's some little bit and I am also show you something small, some 2 more points. The another things, let me explain. For pre-tensioned concrete, the minimum grade of the concrete shall be M40 for the pre-stressed concrete. When we use the pre-stressed concrete, then the minimum grade of the concrete shall be M40. So for for pre for pre-stressed concrete, minimum minimum grade of concrete is M40, and for post pre-tensioned